day I got out of rehab, as soon as I got home, I got served papers. So that was a big pivotal point of like, man, I could go back to drinking. I could be mad, sad, or man, I'm going to manage through this. I'm going to do it for me. Yeah, I got served papers, had to move out. The shots just kept coming, but I deserved them. And I think it was a good Lord testing me of like, hey man, are you going to be resilient? Are you going to fail? Or are you going to really commit to what you committed to be that person and break the chain? And I just kept reminding myself, I got this. And I owned everything that I did. I don't have zero blame for anybody in any relationship because I looked in the mirror and went, it's on me. I have great ex-wives. I get along with them swimmingly well today because they weren't the problem. I was.
Welcome. This show empowers you to confront and overcome addiction with real stories, inspiration, and a host of resources. Our growing community supports, uplifts, and takes action to enable a new way of living. Now, F3 Recovery brings you the Super Sober Podcast. Welcome to SSP 38. We are here in Long Beach, California, cranking it out, getting some momentum. Yes, just want to let you know I'm your host. My name is Brett C. I have a sobriety date of 4/21/03. I'm an RN with a BSN, and we got a special guest we're remoting in from up the coast in Seattle right now, but we'll get to him in a minute, and we'll go to our co-host to the right.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Justin H. I have a sobriety date of January 17th, 2021. I am currently a sous chef. Actually work for the state of California, and excited to be here.
Yeah, you be serving it up, man, helping some people. That's right.
Doing what I can. Doing what I can.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. He's been a co-host on a couple podcasts before. Remember on the behind the scenes on Sober Living on 18, and a co-host with Brandon Yu's podcast to Giving It Back. And but that's enough of the background scene behind there. We got this special guest. His camp shot it out to us. We've been going back and forth. He's got a platform. He's got a book. He's got a wild ride to sobriety. But first, you know, like we do before every podcast, we do some great milestone shout outs right here with people locally or whatever. If you guys want to be shout out, just email me. We got Angela F. with 7 years, our homegirl out there. And we got Gabe L. with 19 years. Let's go. And it's kind of a short list this time, but you know, what can we say? But yeah, the last list was pretty long. But you know, sometimes it is what it is. So that's enough of that. But shout out to here at the Long Beach, at the podcast place, to Solomon in the background and the masterminds. So, and these are all people that got sober, started their journeys before the Bermuda Triangle of recovery. Let's go. So we're going to introduce our guest. Just go ahead and give us your name and your sobriety date and what you do there, Ian.
Ian Fee. My sobriety date is 10/20/17, day I entered rehab. Wrote a book recently just to go, like you guys, go make a difference in the world, make an impact on people, which is like my absolute passion to do.
That's rad. Is that what you do full time? What's your job?
My big boy job. I'm in the automotive space and do finance and insurance for in the automotive industry.
Okay,
Nice.
cool. All right, cool. Awesome. That's rad. Well, a little bit about Ian here. We're going to do some preluding. Ian Fee. I was the life of the party when I was drunk, and I'm still the life of the party today. Ian Fee. So buying into the myth of the work hard, play harder mentality, Ian Fee immersed himself in a culture that celebrated excessive drinking. But as the days turned into years, alcohol became more than just a means of entertainment and high finance. It became a destructive force that eroded his personal relationships, wreaked havoc on his body, and clouded his judgment. In the book, The Wild Ride to Sobriety, Fee tells a remarkable tale of a man who found the courage and determination to face the skeletons in his closet and achieve healing and personal growth. From therapy and self-reflection to embracing vulnerability and restoration, he made a conscious choice to benefit from the gift of sobriety without sacrificing the enjoyment of life. So that's a little bit of the story right there. I think that's on the back of the book. So we're going to get right into it as we always do on the Super Sober Podcast. Let's hear a little bit of a war story and how it happened. It's super rad. So if you check out the book and you go into the back of it, it's super cool. Let's hear what you got to say on this one, Ian.
Man, it started for me at the age of 1, sipping a banquet of beers up in beautiful Bellingham, Washington with my dad. I grew up in the 70s. It was pretty common to just rub whiskey on your lips if your teeth were coming in. At 13, I was bartending my parents' parties. I realized, man, I could get pretty social, and I could remember Jimmy's drink and Aunt Susie's, and then I'd make some money. Pretty good athlete in high school. Never really dabbled in alcohol. But man, as soon as I got into college in San Diego and down by you guys in Southern Cal, man, it was a whole new world for me. And I thought booze became my superpower with building relationships, getting clients, entertaining them out at bars, strip clubs, casinos. It didn't matter, man. If I could get people out, and I thought booze was the circle of it, because that's what I grew up with, man. My parents had parties and potlucks 3, 4, 5 days a week. And I just kind of caught all those great habits from them. So yeah, booze became my superpower, which I built my business super great. 2016, sold it, super depressed.
Well, wait. Let's rewind a little bit. So what did you go to college to do at San Diego? What was your go-to? What were you studying?
I went into school. I lived in Mission Beach and was studying hotel management at that time.
Nice. Okay. Oh, well, yeah, let's get that party started, right?
Yeah.
Hotel management. What were your parents? What was their influence upon your trajectory in your career?
Really, it was very old school. They didn't have a trajectory. I was a great athlete. I probably could have been in college, maybe even pro. I was a great baseball player, great quarterback. But it was just always preached, when you're out of school, go get a job and go make money and get out of the house. So,
yeah, yep, that's how it was back then. I think we're around the same age. So,
and my older brother was in the hotel management, so that's kind of what steered me towards that industry for a few years for sure.
Okay.
And I loved it. I was going to school in San Diego, lived right on Mission Beach. I'd go to school early in the morning, go to work, come home at 9 or 10, beach fires, beers, big mouth Mickeys, and rinse and repeat for 2 years.
Yeah, the big mouth, the mean green machine for sure,
The grenades, baby.
Yeah.
The grenades, I remember those.
Those were yeah, it takes me back on that one. So so you didn't really party too much in high school and everything. You just, were in that kind of lifestyle. I remember it was so loose back then. What year were you born?
1972.
All right. I got you by a year. So, I mean, it just was in a day and age back then, like in the early 80s, and where you could party with your teachers. You could party with a lot of different people, and it was acceptable. It wasn't like a malicious act like what it would be today. Like, oh my God, I can't believe you're drinking with the kids right. But, a lot of the parents back then, right, they had our backs. It was kind of a more mentality. I'd rather have you partying here at home than be out on the streets, right?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. And I did that same thing to my kids in high school.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that carried on. So you went
carried the family tradition going.
So San Diego State, you ended up, where did you grow up again? I forgot which state that was.
I grew up till I was 12 in Bellingham, and then you're going to chuckle because you may or may not know where this place is in Southern California. It's called the beautiful Salton Sea.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
50 miles south of Palm Springs. My graduating class was 17 kids. We played 8-man football. It was pretty remote.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't become a meth amphibian out there.
Well, there was a lot of meth and cocaine, but my parents put the fear of God in that in me, so I was pretty fearful of it.
Wow.
Well, you got lucky.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, the Salton Sea. They had a movie about that too out there. It's kind of crazy, right? It used to be like a thriving actual lake, right, where they were going to build a place for a booming industry down there. Am I correct on that history?
Yeah. My dad. Well, that's why we left Bellingham in 1986.
Well, where was Bellingham though?
Is 2 hours north of Seattle.
Oh, okay.
My dad took a big job offer there in 86. They had an established golf course. It was kind of a Sonny Bono, Ronald Reagan planned community development clubhouse, beautiful yacht club when I was down there. And 6 months later, it went bankrupt.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right. And they drained like the lake or something too, right? Some government. It's kind
Yeah, it
of a
was.
crazy little story if you go back on the Salton Sea, right?
Yeah, and it's what is it? It's 3 times saltier than the ocean, so it's
Yeah.
equivalent to like the Red Sea. Only a couple fish, corvina and tilapia, can live in it. It's so salty and hot.
Wow. It kind of reminds me of Paris Lake over there.
Yeah. It does.
Yeah,
Kind of
Yeah.
brutal.
yep.
Wow. So that was encapsulating a lot pretty fast, going through your early war story history. So when you first did you graduate college?
So my school was called Century Business College, which was right downtown San Diego, which was a vocational school. So yeah, it was only a year long for hotel management.
Okay, that's not
Okay.
bad though. Okay, well let's move on into it. So how long was the debauchery and going on in your war story from going from zero to moving from the Salton Sea, going to the college at San Diego State? Well, not San Diego State, but the vocational college over in San Diego. It must have been a breath of fresh air with seeing all the girls on the beach and all the
Oh,
fun partying right there. I mean, it's a foundational place. I like going down into San Diego over there off of Coronado and
Yeah.
stayed a couple nights at the Lowe's Hotel over there. It's super nice, right? Downtown area.
it was a game changer getting into the big city for me coming from the Salton Sea. Yeah, that was world big mouth Mickey's and living on the beach, and like it was a great run. 34 years of debauchery that it created, though.
30, 40 years. Well, let's get into that. So we're talking a year and we got another 33 years to encapsulate right there. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's go.
War story in it.
War story. So yeah, when I left San Diego, I took a big job offer up in Seattle to run a Embassy Suites, was a very established hotel. Got
Oh, so you
married.
got lucky to kind of go back home.
Yep, I got deported back north. I did.
Deported
I did.
back north.
And got married young age, 2 young kids. And again, I thought drinking, I was building a career. I was so focused on the end and the journey of, and it just consumed with clients and entertainment of drinking. It'd be 4 days, 5 days a week. It would go into martini lunches to let's go have a nice bottle of wine and then into steak dinner. And then maybe just sit in the hot tub and do some fireball shots till 2 and rinse and repeat.
And a lot of
Meanwhile,
that was all on the company bill, right?
a good portion of it, for except
That's always nice.
the after, yeah, crazy. I did the math the other day. It was over $1 million I've spent in alcohol, $1 million, and I sure wish I had that today in my
Yeah.
34 years of debauchery.
Yeah, to go back and do a little bit of math on the addiction is always kind of cringy when you really have to work hard after you're working and get sober, right? So was your wife have any addiction tendencies or anything? Or
No, my first
did
one,
she
no.
see you coming? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think she probably would have changed after the fact of like, oh boy, what did I get into? So yeah, that was the beginning of my first failed marriage, for sure. And then after the hotel world and my first divorce, I got into the automotive space. And started a company from ground zero. My first year, I made $8,000 while going through a divorce, paying child support and alimony. It was pretty rough, but a lot of drinking, just to numb all those feelings and emotions and sadness. And I just didn't want to feel any of those feelings. And so I was building a business, met another gal, got married. And she didn't have many drinking tendencies. I think I brought out the best of people's drinking for sure, because I was that guy. I was the life of the party. So if they didn't have drinking tendencies, I created them for them. Because I was such a great influence at that time, or at least I thought I was. Because again, I thought booze was my superpower. I was building my business and friends, and I could get a group text together and in 10 minutes have 26 people at my house having a barbecue and some excuse that's on TV to be like, hey, there's men's breaststroke on. We're going to have a barbecue and drink our faces off and do shots. So with any excuse to drink. And I love to have the people around because I was that insecure, I guess. I was never one of those drinkers that was those closet drinkers. I never drank by myself. I didn't have the vodka in the water bottle. I was a very, very social drinker. and I was good at it. I was an All-American. As my kids got older, this is probably 6, 7 years into my second marriage. My kids are getting into high school, and I wanted to be that dad. I wanted to be like my parents. I wanted to know where my kids were. If you're going to party, you're going to party at my house. And kids would come over, have a couple beers, and then it'd be like, hey, why don't we do some shots? And then I'd be doing fireball shots with the high school kids. But I knew where they were. So I thought, hey, I'm a great dad. I'm the cool dad that all the kids want to be at my house. And that was all through high school. And again, I'm still partying with my clients Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I'd have parties sometimes 5, 6 days in a row at my house that I'd be martini lunches, happy hour with a client, probably bring that client home, grab a case of wine, come back, get a group text with all my false friends and my high school son's friends. And there'd be 25, 30 people at my house till midnight, 1 o'clock. And then I'd rinse and repeat the next day, the same thing, to where, my daughter, my oldest son's 30, daughter 28. My daughter 28, when she was in high school, she would be texting me like, Dad, could you please turn the music down? I'm trying to study. And I had my kids actually write letters about my drinking days in the book. So they're pretty heart tugging for sure to see the kids' experience of what kind of dad I was compared to what I thought I was. Big difference.
Yeah. Wow. When your kids start shining a light on you, and when you're in your addiction, you had all your excuses in place. This is for the business. This is what we do. This is the safe place. And so how long did it take for you to start up this business going? First year was $8,000. And what was the trajectory of this business? That was, sounds like it's kind of the spine of a major excuse that's going to crumble later in the story,
yeah,
right?
in 2016, so in '02 that started. I started my business with two of my partners. And in 2016, we sold it for 8 figures. And I still actually currently work for the company that bought me in 2016.
Yeah, that's kind of funny how that happens a lot too. That could be a serious resentment, but
For sure.
It sounds like it's worked out a little bit. So, what is exactly that you were doing in this business you created in the automotive industry?
So we would go market to car dealers all their aftermarket products. And so if you bought an extended warranty, your gap insurance, financing arms for purchasing your car, that were products that we provided to car dealerships. Kind of a unique little niche area.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because my first job in recovery, I sold cars for 2 years.
Okay.
Back in the 2003 to 2005 massive crash of the whole industry. I remember when I was in that industry, the owner of the dealership owned like 6 dealerships, and they all went under. Wow. It was a massive crash, right? I mean, during the crash of that time, that industry was making money hand over fist. And I left to become a nurse, and all those people were like, where are you going? We're making all this money. And then it just went and exploded. Was that very effective on the business that you were doing, or was kind of not so much because you were behind the scenes all in the loan in the aftermarket area?
It definitely affected it. Not as much obviously some dealers obviously went out of business, and the marketplace up in Washington is pretty unique with all the tech, right? You got Google, you got Amazon. Sometimes it's its own little economic world up here. So we didn't get hit as hard across the country as most, but it definitely was an impact. And revenue was down and sales were down for sure. We had a few dealers close at that time, but nothing like across the country.
So you got any questions or anything, Justin?
I'm fascinated with the life of the party flow that you have going early on in your addiction. Did you find at any point when you were doing all this partying, did anyone mention anything to you about like maybe you're drinking too much, or have you thought about cutting down, or any process throughout that partying? Did anyone mention anything to you? Because for me, I did club promotion, nightclub promotion, Orange County, LA County. So it was okay to go out and party from Wednesday to Sunday. I got paid for it. I sold bottle service and I got free drinks at the bar and I made money. My addiction actually lasted a little bit longer because no one actually told me, not that they needed to, but no one actually said, hey, you're drinking too much, because when you're in the party scene, everyone's having fun. And your job is almost to make sure they're having fun too. You know what I mean? So I'm curious, did anyone bring to your attention the amount maybe you were consuming throughout the process and you kept going anyways? Or
There were, there were a lot of red flags.
okay.
Right.
And I just kept grabbing them and stacking them. I had clients, I had close friends. I heard the yapping after the party with, the chiming of like, hey, your husband drinks too much. I got some of the girl chatter for sure.
Okay.
So, but I just kind of took those and I'd be like, hey, give me that flag too. Yep. I got it. You don't realize I'm building this empire. I provide this house. I provide the nice cars. We go on nice vacations. So give me that red flag. You're the problem. I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the one supplying it.
Yeah.
You can't get into there.
I totally feel that 100%.
I didn't know that about you, Justin,
Yeah.
anyway, so that's kind of crazy. Yeah, that's a good question. So, what was maybe some of the red flags with your children that you first started noticing? Because we're going to start kind of segueing into Ian getting sober.
Yeah. The not knowing what kind of dad they were going to get coming home. Were they going to get the happy dad, the sad dad, the mad dad, the party dad? Is there a whole entourage coming to the house? Little bit of those comments. But again, I had these blinders on that, hey, I'm providing for you. I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for everybody. Leave me alone. I'm not the problem. So it was really tough to penetrate me on that, because I didn't want to hear it, because I was the guy. I'm the life of the party. That's why this is here. This is why you're here. This is why you get to do what you get to do. This is why you get to choose the school you're going to. So I just put these blinders on and earmuffs and be like, hey, I hear you, but I'm not listening. So it took a long time for me to realize that, and a lot of forgiveness, once I did get sober.
Brutal. It's crazy that you never got into a little bit of the dried goods. I mean, you never got any offered to maybe keep the party going a little bit longer with a little bit of powdered alcohol, or especially up there, the marijuana is so good. I mean, I took a little recreational puffs. I mean, come on, that's almost like a standard rite to passage up there in Seattle and that area.
It's born and raised and bred up here. It's good stuff.
That's amazing. But alcohol's enough. Alcohol is always, whatever your flavor for that is definitely, it's always enough. So we're about halfway through the podcast right here. We're getting to know Ian. We're going to be going into our commercial really quick, and that's for His House New Creation, the proud sponsor of Super Sober Podcast. And if anybody needs any help with any insurance at any time or whatever, call this number, and that's 877-345-4138. And that number again is 877-345-4138. And we'll be back in a few minutes with Ian Fee.
At Embrace Life Change, your journey to mental wellness begins in a place where understanding meets action, where care is personalized and recovery is achievable. With over 30 years of experience, our expert team offers a range of evidence-based treatments tailored to each individual's needs. From anxiety and depression to complex psychiatric disorders, our comprehensive approach includes cognitive behavioral therapy, mindfulness practices, and innovative programs designed for deep healing. Our small treatment groups ensure personalized care, fostering stronger connections, and a supportive community that empowers your recovery journey. Hear from those who've embraced change, and found hope, healing, and a path to a better life with us. Embrace Light Change is more than a treatment center. It is a place where lasting change begins. If you or someone you love is seeking help, call us first. Let's take that first step together towards a brighter future. Embrace Light Change, nurturing mental health, where hope and healing meet.
All right, we're back with Ian Fee, getting into the part of the end of the war story right here of 34 years of gnarly partying at his house and affecting the life onto his second marriage. So let's get in towards the end of it. What was the keynote factors that just kind of put a halt to all the partying? And
Yeah, well, I was, it would have been summer of 2017, was getting nudged by my second wife of like, hey, you might want to do something. So that summer of 2017 is like, drinking's the problem. You're the problem. I'm like, no problem. I can quit drinking. So I did not drink for the summer. I guess it would have been June, July, August. And then September, I went with some clients and we went to the Seattle Buffalo game. And
wait, did you have any like detox symptoms or anything?
No.
I mean,
no.
Wow, look at your constitution.
Yeah, I was like, I got this, no problem.
So you were just showing her like out of pure spite.
Yep, I'm like, I got this. Let me show you my willpower. And that willpower ended in September at the Buffalo game. Fired back as soon as we landed. Was like, I'm with the boys. Let's have some vodka sodas. We'll have a great time. It's just the weekend. And that just continued when I got back. And all the parties texting, hey, let's go. And my son's birthday was October 16th. It was a big $2,300 bar tab over at school where he was going to east of the mountains, and came home and was like, that's it. You go to rehab or something's happening. I'm like, you want me to go to rehab? No problem.
So this was your wife's ultimatum?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And obviously those red flags that I had just piled on. I was starting to think about all those of self-doubt and like, boy, I got a lot of red flags in this pocket of mine. So October 20th, 2017 went into rehab, and it's a 10-day, pretty intense rehab. It's called diversion therapy, where they actually induce vomiting with alcohol.
Yeah, this is on the back of the book to the people listening here. It's very interesting. The program you went to, you're going to tell us which one it is. I didn't even know it was in business, because we're like all about, working the 12 steps and going into these programs. So this is like really interesting for our listening population. We're going to have some different people on the podcast here that have kind of done it with a little bit of different twist and flavor with some different ways of sobriety. So lean into that. It's really cool on the back of your book what happened here. So this is an interesting way to detox people.
Yeah, so it's I didn't want anybody to know I was gone. I was looking for 10 days. I looked down in your area for these 30-day programs, and I was like, man, this is only 10 days and nobody knows I'm gone and my work, and I got this. And it happened to be local in Seattle. There was one in Seattle, one in Florida. So it worked out very well. So I got checked in the 20th, and I was going into rehab for my family, my second wife, my friends. I was going into rehab for everybody else. And the third day, the good Lord touched me on the shoulder and said, man, unless you're right, nothing's going to be right. And that really, really hit me. But back to this aversion therapy my aversion's so high to this day. I could get a whiff of Fireball. I can still go sit at bars. My mouth will water if I get a pretty good whiff of a tequila or Fireball. So your rehab, there's 5 days you're sedated and 5 days of violently vomiting. So if you guys have kids, you know what Epicac is. It induces vomiting. It makes you just nauseous and sweaty, and you're going to start throwing up no matter what in about 6 or 7 minutes.
It's called Epicac?
Yeah.
Epicac.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'm not familiar with that. I'm familiar with Anna abuse, but not the Epicac.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Epicac. It's like
it's got yak on the end of it, kind
yeah,
of, right? Epicac. Right.
yeah,
It's a little drink, right? Like a little something
yeah.
that you just
It's like syrupy and
syrupy. Yeah.
yeah, it's nasty. So, and the staff was amazing. You're watched by nurses, but we would go into so just picture like you're going into your regular doctor's office medical room. Well, this one has where you sit down. There's a desk, a mirror, a silver bowl, and then off to your right is just a display of all alcohol you could imagine. And your nurse's chair, which we called them the bartenders. And you sit there and they're talking to you a little bit while the Epicac's hitting in, and then they give you a nice glass of warm, salty water. And then they they try to get you to 18 shots a day. And they start with your vices. Mine was vodka, red wine, Coors Light. So here comes a shot of vodka, put it in your mouth, swish it around, spit it out in the silver bowl. Second shot, take some red wine, swish it around your mouth, spit it out. By the third shot, you were just violently vomiting. And they try to get you to 18 shots. So on your seventh, your seventh shot of Jameson, you're barely putting it in your mouth as you're violently puking into this silver bowl. And they get you 18 shots and you don't feel great. You're vomiting. You're only in there about a half hour. They take you back to your room. No electronics, no nothing. They have you sit at the end of the bed with your little pink hospital bucket. And I remember right above me was the clock. And nurses come check on you about every 10 minutes as you're just violently vomiting. And it's about an hour and a half. You kind of get that feeling like, man, I think I'm turning the corner. I think I'm feeling better. They come in with your nice big 16-ounce glass of Epicac again and your nice 12-ounce glass of warm salt water, which just keeps you going another hour and a half. So after you're done violently puking for 3-4 hours, you go into group sessions. And a lot of ours were focused around the 4 agreements. Speak impeccable, always do your best, don't assume anything. And it was all based on that in the theory of alcohol. And you'd sit there was probably 18 people in my class at that time. And you'd sit in these conference rooms and listen and hear some people's stories.
So wait, so all of those people are all throwing up too in different rooms?
Yep. So you would have a calendar.
At different levels of the program.
There was a big whiteboard with your name on it, and you'd be like, Ian, they called them Duffy rooms. You go in at 9:15. Brett goes in at 10:05. Justin goes in at 11:15. Solomon's in at 1. So yeah, you wake up in the morning and be like, oh man, what time do I got? And I always wanted them early in the morning so I could feel better. But those afternoon ones, like those mid-morning ones, where you were just waiting around to go throw up. It was miserable.
Oh my God, it sounds so anxiety inducing, to the fact that you know what time you're going in. And like, let's say you have a half hour. So that whole half hour for me, I would have been like, just in dread, like it's coming.
Run.
Yeah, run. Like at any point of this, did you want to leave? I mean, was there a part where you were kind of like, is this worth it? Like, should I just go? Or were you just at the point of your life where you're like, I'm going to go through this? Like, you're determined.
Yeah, there were so many emotions. That's a great question. You don't have to stay there. You can leave at any time.
Right.
And again, I went in there for my first 2-3 days. I told you I went in there for all these other people. And then when I realized, unless I'm right, nothing's going to be right, that really, really hit me. And that made me like, I am going to come out of here the best version of myself I possibly can. And I'm going to go be the best person for my kids. So yeah, that mental battle was pretty easy for me because I made that commitment my 3rd day into rehab that, man, I'm committed to this and I'm going to go be a better person.
It's amazing.
Wow. Sounds like you're super stubborn. I like that.
Aren't we all?
I remembered one of the names though, that you were going down the checklist. One of them was Solomon. I didn't know. Solomon, were you in this program back there? No. There's not too many Solomons out there. Bro. No. I know you weren't though, but that's kind of funny. Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I think most people would tuck tail. How many people lasted with that?
Yeah.
You said there was 18 who ended.
That was my next question.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a 78% success rate.
What?
And yeah, 78% success rate. And again, I'm the life of the party. So all these people, man, I would buy in because you can't leave. I'd order in shakes and Starbucks, and like I was still that guy. I still got this community of people, and we were sitting out by the smokers table. I'm not a smoker. I've just always had that energy and connection with people, and resonate well with them, and can listen to their stories and good guidance. So it was like it was a mini version, just no alcohol. And I was like, man, I can have just as much fun, if not more, and feel good the next morning and be the same person and probably have more energy and more vibe. I really started to discover myself when I came out of rehab, for sure.
That's interesting. So what was the name of the program? Because I remember reading on the back, it was a Schick Shadle program.
Schick Shadle, they have recently closed it the last couple of years.
I just remember those commercials when I was growing up, the Schick Shadle, stop smoking. I had, that's what kind of took me back a little bit when I was reading the back of the book, and the Schick Shadle, I had no idea it was still alive. I had no idea. I've been working in treatment and help people get sober. I didn't know that this aversion therapy was available, and it's still available today.
It recently closed because they consider it inhumane. Up here in our liberal state of Washington. Yeah.
Wow.
Even though when I was there, UW was doing neurological studies of the receptors in your brain that it changed. It's like touching a stove. At one point, you're going to be like, that shit's hot. I'm not doing that. And that was the same thing for alcohol for me.
So people were having too much of a success rate. They didn't want that, huh?
Well, it induces trauma though, right? Is that basically it?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like I see, when I first came out, the smell of alcohol, I would go throw up in a trash can.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it's pretty intense. And, they get you super hydrated. So that half hour of anxiety before you go into your Duffy room, I was drinking blue Powerade because they want you to drink 1 gallon of something, but not water, because people were getting aversion to water. To this day, I don't have silver bowls that I would throw up in. You won't see a silver bowl in my house. You will see nothing blue liquid in my house because my aversion's like intense. Like I could go to a 7-Eleven and be like, there's blue Gatorade or Powerade. My mouth will water a tad.
Wow.
Still to this day, 8 years later.
I like how that worked. But when I was reading this, personally on my side, I don't know if that would have worked for me, because I've thrown up so many times when I first started drinking. I mean, I was taught, stick your finger down your throat, get back in the game.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, this is like really interesting how they did that. And then they stopped doing it. Seemed like it was very effective with you. And you're wearing a blue shirt though. So I'm
blue. I'm representing Make It Great.
Yeah.
Baby. Yeah. That's my version of blue.
I love it. So let's I just wanted to rewind a little bit. You said you had a voice on like day 3. So this was your higher power. What is your connection with your higher power? Do you have one?
I do. Yep. I've always.
So that was like a moment of clarity for you. Can you expand and elaborate on that point maybe?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've always been a prayer. I've always believed in a higher power. I just was believing in the wrong way, because I'm sure we've all been there of our hungover days, throwing up. It would be like, oh God, please, if you could just make me feel better today, I won't drink tomorrow. And I had so many of these BS false prayers to God for me that was like, maybe that's why it was a tough time. But that third day, man, I get chills talking about it. It was like somebody literally touched me on the shoulder, because I was sitting there. I just got done throwing up. I'm looking in the mirror in the bathroom, and you're looking at yourself like, what are you doing? And there was this moment, I'm getting goosebumps, that literally somebody touched me on the shoulder and like was talking to me in the mirror and like, unless you're right, nothing will be right. You're going in here for your family, your kids, you're trying to save a marriage, your business. What about you? You need to be right. You set the tone for your family. You need to go be the one to break the chain. And that just kind of like hit me. It was like, I need to go be the guy. I need to go be the man. I need to go be the dad that I need to be for my kids. And that just like hit me like a ton of bricks.
Yeah. Thanks for expanding on that. He's going to go on something, Justin?
Yeah. I had a question, and it's okay. We backtrack a little bit, but this is important to me that I ask. You seem like a nurturing person based off of wanting to be the life of the party, but you also have this tendency to kind of look out for other people. It seems like that carried over when you were doing this process of detoxing or going through the program by looking out for other people. You said you were getting them Starbucks, shakes. It was almost like you had a job to do besides for yourself. You were looking out for other people in that program. So my next question is, do you still talk to people that went through this process with you? Are they still sober, or do you have somewhat of a fellowship, that what we call an AA, with these people that you got sober with?
Some of them for sure, yes, and some have fell off the wagon. There was some pretty young kids in there, probably half my age at that time, in their 20s, 30s, that have gone back to their habits.
Sure.
And I've talked to them. I've recently talked to one, reaching out for help because he saw my book. I sent my book to him, and he's like, "Hey, what can I do?" And I go, "Your problem," and I know what it is. It's his circle. He can't get out of his circle of people.
Yeah.
Like it's that old saying, "Show me your 5 friends, I'll show you your future." Well, he went back into that circle of drinking and smoking weed and just no drive, no purpose. And until you change your circle, man, nothing's going to change for you. And it's going to be really uncomfortable for you to change your circle because it's so comfortable. Go get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love all that aspect of it for sure. We love being uncomfortable. So you get out of the treatment center. Let's go to some practical strategies for rebuilding your trust with the family. Let's see this transition process when you get back. Your wife, everybody's back at home kind of biting their nails, and Ian shows back up from the aversion therapy.
Well, that was a big pivotal point. The day I got out of rehab was the Halloween, the 31st. We were going to go trick or treat with the daughter. And as soon as I got home, I got served papers.
Oh, brutal.
Oh, wow.
Let's go.
So that was a big pivotal point of like, man, I could go back to drinking. I could be mad, sad, or man, I'm going to manage through this. And I still was like, I'm going to battle for this. I'm going to do it for me. So yeah, I got served papers, trick or treat, had to move out. It was just the shots just kept coming, but I deserved them. And I think it was a good Lord testing me of like, hey man, are you going to be resilient, or you're going to fail? Or are you going to really commit to what you committed to be that person and break the chain? And I just kept reminding myself of like, I got this, it's on me. And I owned everything that I did. I don't have zero blame for anybody in any relationship, because I looked in the mirror and went, it's on me. And 1,000%. I have great ex-wives. I get along with them swimmingly well today. Because they weren't the problem. I was. And it took me a long time to realize that. And I live and breathe by like, I had to forgive my younger self, believe in my current self, and create my future self. And I live and breathe by that every single day. Was a game changer for me to get through, obviously getting served papers and then a divorce shortly down the road, 2 months later. I just kept on track. And you ask about the kids. My kids, I need, because I taught my kids how to drink and party, right? Because I think our kids catch more than what we teach them, and they caught from me. I lost 80 pounds. I got really healthy. I got fit. I became this very clear, very consistent father and business partner and friend, instead of this heart monitor of like, oh my God, what Ian are we going to get today? The consistency was a game changer. And my kids saw that very, very quick in me. So I really didn't, we've talked about it obviously now 8 years down the road, but I never had those conversations early on with the kids. I never asked for apologies from anybody. I was like, I showed them all this. I'm going to show them the new me. Here is the new me. And I never had to, I know AA is a lot of, hey, go ask for forgiveness from people. I showed my forgiveness in my eyes. I wanted to go set the tone for me and my family and reset it. And that was really, really impactful it's no different than this book that I wrote. Is like the silent impact that I made on people of my circle. I mean, my circle got real small. Of how many people drink less, how many people that I've influenced that don't drink, that told me to be like, hey, if you can do it, bro, anybody can do it. So the silent impact that I've made on people is amazing. I know you guys have done the same in your world, and the impact you're making with your podcast of how many people we silently impact and we don't even know is amazing.
Yeah, I love it. So how old were your kids when you did get sober? You did get your wife saw the new you and still divorced you?
She checked out and moved on.
Okay.
There was another person in her world, and yeah.
I love how you just took responsibility. You know, we're accountable to change through the 12 steps and everything, but you seem to have been touched by your higher power and did your own homage to this. And still, 8 years later, you're still plugging away. You're still willing to talk to anybody about it. It's really inspirational that you did that too. And you, I live by a motto: under promise and over provide. Sounds like you just embodied that process. And
yeah, I love that.
I love how you let go. So one of the key factors to have you on the podcast too was when I was going through your website, the Make It Great, the MIG. I saw a little bit of Joe Dispenza in a workbook on breaking the habit of being yourself. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct for sure.
Yeah. We're big Dispensians here. So, I mean, to upload that information and to actually practice that and get a workbook going. And I love the whole transition. So how old were your kids when you got sober? And are they having issues with substance abuse? Like you were saying, they kind of.
So my son just turned 30 this October.
Mm-hmm.
He still casually drinks beer, whatever, but definitely not like his dad of firing back fireball shots, partying 5 days a week. He's an assistant golf pro, great kid, just first grandbaby. Then I have a 28-year-old daughter, does not drink. This is the one that would be texting me when she was in high school. Hey, could you please turn the music down? I'm trying to study. She is a detective at a local police station right by my house, does not drink. And her fiance does not drink. And then I have a 15-year-old. I'd be absolutely shocked if she even dabbled in any of it, from seeing and living the transition of her dad.
That's amazing. I love the story of transformation. I love how you flew through it and you just embodied it. So why don't we just take some time here to plug this book, go over the MIG program, see where Ian is now, and let's do that.
Yeah. I wrote a book. It'll be about a year, coming up a year. And I didn't think it would be about sobriety by no means. I thought it would be about business or something fun, but it was my calling. And so I wrote the book to go be completely naked. Like, that is all out there. There is nothing left untold. Every laughter, every cry, every impact of me and owning my own stuff. That it was really important for me in my calling to go make a difference in the world. I have this ability to just get people and this energy and magnetic personality to make an impact on people. So I was like, man, I'm going to go write a book. If this can go make an impact on one person to be a better dad, a better husband, a better business owner, man, it is worth everything to me. This isn't about money to me. This is like my purpose and my calling, that if I could go make a difference in somebody's life about my stupid drunken debaucheries, and nothing good came out of alcohol, not one thing came out of alcohol that was a positive for me. Not my business, not my relationships, zero. My health, absolutely not. To go make an impact. In the whole Make It Great thing, like you were talking earlier, Justin, when I'm buying shakes and coffees for everybody, we would go sit around the smokers lounge. And one of the gals was like, man, you make everybody feel great. And then it kind of started like, hey, why don't we do this community, Make It Great? Like, we were going to have this whole community and we're all going to do it together and have a website, some apparel. And one of the gals, or one of the guys, because it's this wood table out there, made the logo. I don't know if you can see it, but it's actually the Pacific Northwest Mountains. So they scraped it into the wood of like, oh man, that'd be a cool logo. So it was just kind of like this team camaraderie that was going around the table to create this company, make it great. And just to go make a positive impact on people. That was the whole purpose of it. And,
yeah, we got your website up right now. Keep on talking as we're going. We got the first page right here. Go ahead.
And it got diluted pretty. And I had my kids out there, and my kids were talking in high schools about, just making a positive impact on people. Because there's so much negativity in the world with social media and the news. I hate the news. Of how can we combat that? And let's go spread some greatness and make people feel great. So it was whole designed, and it came out of rehab. It's kind of fizzled out with some of the people, but I was like, man, I'm going to go take this and run to just try to put a positive spin in life of all the negativity and BS that we hear out there.
I love it. There's so many people with platforms. We've had a lot of them on the podcast. We love the aspect. That's why I came into the shadows and did a podcast, because of a platform that I was promoting also. We're going to put everything into the show notes. You can see him. He's very available. The book looks super fun. If you want to get to know Ian a little bit more and what he's doing, it's really important. And I love that you can just fire it up these days. So many people have platforms, they're teaching it. And if everybody had their own platform, or at least kind of in their heart, or saving some space, that's what we're all about, right? Justin, is we're out there, we're helping people. We grab another brother or sister, we influence people in their minds. I can see you're super happy with it. But I would also maybe challenge to flip the switch on you a little bit there, Ian, because if it wasn't for all that 34 years of madness, you probably wouldn't be at the point like we know everybody here that we've had on the podcast. We've turned that sickness into a lot more health and wellness. So without all that, you probably wouldn't be doing what you're right now and just helping saving lives. And with these people, how many people are behind the scenes of your platform of MIG?
Just 3. Pretty small deal. Yeah, I really haven't taken it to the masses. It's kind of the circle's growing just with my circle of influence, obviously podcasts like you guys. But I still have my full-time job. But I would eventually like to do this full-time to go make an impact on people.
Well, you got to start somewhere. And we're all about the journey here on SSP. So we don't have a huge platform either, like a lot of followers, but we keep growing. Couple here every day, couple over here. And we got a lot of powerful influence in the background. You're definitely another story of transformation. This podcast went by quick. You got anything in the back, Solomon, or anybody, or Justin, a couple quicks before we wrap it up?
No, I'm going to show his contact information so people can get in touch with him.
Yep. Okay.
Cool. So go ahead, Justin. Let's go real quick.
Is that you on the cover of your book?
Yeah. That's actually me in Bellingham at 8 years old. That was a real Marlboro.
Thanks for asking that. That's rad.
It was one of my kids is like, oh my gosh, that's got to be the picture. And the real picture is I had 6 shooters on my hips, just those fake little old cap guns. I'm sure your guys are old enough to remember the cap guns. Love the smell of those. Yeah. And I peed my pants. So my author is like, we might need to edit that just a tad, but yeah, that's the picture. That's part of the beginning of my wild ride for sure.
Okay, love it.
Thank you for asking that question. That's rad. That's you. And just a quick couple minutes. How long did it take you to write the book? How hard was it to publish it? And how hard was it you go from 0 to MIG and your book, everything where you're at right now?
The book took about 16 months to write. It actually started with 2 other guys that I currently work with. And they dropped out just because the book was getting real and real stories. And their stories are in there. Just they didn't want to have all that out there. And I was like, I'm going all the way. That there's nothing to be held back here. If we're going to go make an impact, we'll make a fruitful impact. I had a ghostwriter that I met because if I would have wrote it, it would be like probably you saw in my emails. It would be very caveman and about 7 pages long.
That's great.
So I got a ghostwriter, spent hundreds of hours, met my family, and just helped me put it all together. And I didn't want it chapter driven. I wanted just quick stories and a super easy read, because I didn't read books until I got sober. Like, I read one book, and I read a few books a year now. So it was about 17 months, great ghostwriter, got a great publisher down in Southern California. And they kind of helped me get the process of getting on Amazon. It was such a fun journey, and soul searching like no other, writing a book. I highly recommend, even if you don't write a book, start journaling. It's one of the things that I do every morning. I thought 92-year-old women journal, and I journal every morning of gratitude and appreciation of my goals. It's been a game changer for me. Make It Great's been going on. Shortly after I got out of rehab, a couple buddies helped me build a website. I was like, hey, let me get some apparel, which after this, I'll make sure I get your addresses so I can get you some hats and hoodies sent to you. So it's been a lot of support with people just helping spread the word and the journey. But I highly recommend, if you guys have ever thought about writing a book, man, go do it. Absolutely go do it.
Oh yeah, I've been doing a lot of writing. So thanks for breaking it down, Ian. We are done with SSP 38. This went by super fast. Thanks for the entertainment and the wild ride on SSP 38. But before we end here, we're going to be doing some shout outs. We can be reached on the emails at info@f3recovery.org, info@supersoberpodcast.org. You can reach us at our website at f3recovery.org. We're on all platforms. We're on social media. We're going to be ramping things up. We're always moving forward here on SSP regardless. And shout out to the Detox, the story I wrote of the addiction, the deadliest disease that man has ever known. We're looking for someone in Hollywood to get us the first binge series for recovery. And we really appreciate you again, Ian. We're going to put you in the show notes. We're going to be breaking it down. We're going to be doing a lot more podcasts. We're doing at the end of the year. Happy New Year to everybody, because we're going to be dropping this one in a couple weeks. And definitely we'll be keeping in touch. And if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, always follow up. And we're just on a growing community on SSP 38. Thanks again, Ian.
Thank you so much, Ian.
Thanks again for having me, you guys. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and don't forget to keep on keeping on.
Thank you for listening to the Super Sober Podcast. Go to our website at f3recovery.org. That's F3Recovery, all one word, .org. We're turning fight, flight, and freeze into free form and flow through practicing the 12 steps and staying accountable to change. Don't forget to keep on keeping on.